What was the pinpoint that made you think, right, this maybe I'm getting these attacks?
Yeah, so it's yeah, so that's actually a really good question. And so I kind of just gotten by with these sort of feelings, and then I'd met Sass, my wife, who's my wife now. Excuse me, I was just taking a drink. And yeah, so I just met Sass, who's my wife now, and we'd been seeing each other for a couple of months, and I got tickets to go down and see Lee Evans at Newcastle.
Oh, I've actually seen Lee Evans myself.
Oh, he's brilliant.
Yeah,
I actually didn't like him before I went and seen him, and he's without a doubt. Well, I've seen Kevin Bridges as well. I really like Kevin Bridges, but Lee, he's got an amazing singing voice as well. Absolutely amazing singing voice.
yeah.
And yeah, we went down to Newcastle to see him, and we'd went to a restaurant. And now I had anxiety before about going out and eating in front of people. I was having difficulties eating in front of my parents and stuff like in yeah, weird social situations. Getting my haircut being the absolute worst. And yeah, so we went out for this meal, and I just started having an anxiety attack like I had never had before, and I had never spoken to Sass about this. I hadn't spoken to anybody about this, and you know, I would just the waiter was coming across, and I just try to breathe, try to talk, try to say what I wanted, then trying to use a knife and fork. My hands were shaking. I was sweating. Sass is asking me, "Are you okay? You okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like please don't ask me. I'm okay. I just want to get out of this situation so badly." And I'd be back and forth to the toilet, and she knew obviously she knew something was up with me. And I got back, and I think I'd ate like 2 bites on my steak. There was no chance I was going to eat without spewing everything back up on that table. I was just so nervous. And yeah, I said to her, I was just like, you know what? I think I'm having like some sort of mild panic attack. I was like, I need to get out of here. Sass being Sass asked because we never, like we said, we never spoke about mental health. Asked, "Are you sure you don't want to stay for dessert?" And I love dessert. I was absolutely sure I didn't want to stay for dessert that night. And I just needed to get out of there, and we did, and we paid our bill and ran back to the hotel, and I was just a shaky, shivering mess, horrible anxiety attack. And then that was the very first time that I'd said to anybody, I have these weird fears that I don't know why I'm having, and I have this intense feeling, and I think it's anxiety, and I think I need help. And she said, "No, no, that's fine." She said, "So I get anxiety, but like we're both extremely open about our mental health." And we spoke for ages, and she said, "You know what? When we get back to IMO on Monday, the following week, she says I'll phone up the doctors for you. I'll make up the appointment for you. We can go down together. Just the absolute like I was, you know, I'm not one to swear on here. I was pooing myself about the situation in my head about what happens when somebody finds out about this, and it was just so different to my that to my expectations. It was so helpful, and it was so. We went to the Evans after it. I mean that's what I mean. That's how powerful it was. Like if we don't have that conversation, I'm not going there. I'm just getting through dinner. There's no way I would be able to put myself through that for another, 3 hours.
Mm.
So I have that conversation. Went there, we had an amazing time, and it's probably looking back, it's probably one of my favorite nights of my life
Yeah.
because it was a freeing night for me, and it's monumental to me now because ultimately I think things would have been a lot different had I had a negative response. Like I don't think I'd be as open about mental health as I am now as to what. So I owe a lot to Sass. I owe a lot to her.